What did you overhear? When someone didn't know you understood their language. I look completely American. Blonde hair, blue eyes. No one ever guesses that my mom is Japanese. I grew up speaking both English and Japanese fluently, but I almost never tell people. Mostly because the reactions are always the same: confusion. A lot of awkward apologies. A few years ago I started working at a large marketing company. There was a woman named Emmy on my floor. She'd moved from Japan a few months earlier. We weren't close, but we'd occasionally chat in the break room. She was friendly, hardworking, and honestly, one of the nicest people in the office. The problem was that she seemed incredibly nervous. Whenever she had to speak English, she'd constantly apologize for tiny mistakes, even when nobody cared. One afternoon, I walked into the break room to make coffee. Emmy was sitting with two other Japanese coworkers. They didn't notice me walk in. The second they started speaking Japanese, I realized they assumed I couldn't understand a word. Then I heard my name. Immediately I froze. One coworker asked, "Why do you always look so nervous around her?" My heart sank. I figured she was about to complain about me. Maybe I'd said something rude without realizing it. Maybe she thought I was annoying. Instead, Amy sighed and said something that completely caught me off guard. "She reminds me of my sister." The room went quiet. She pulled out her phone and showed them a picture. I couldn't see it clearly from where I stood. Then she explained. Her younger sister had passed away 2 years earlier. A drunk driver. She'd been 24. The same age I was. Apparently we even had similar smiles. One of her friends asked why she never told me. Emmy laughed softly because that would be weird. Then she admitted something else. Every time she talked to me, she got emotional because my mannerisms reminded her of her sister. The way I laughed, the way I greeted people, in the way I carried my coffee mug. I stood there completely stunned. Then one of her coworkers asked a question. "She reminds you so much of your sister. Why don't you spend more time talking to her?" Emmy stared down at her cup and quietly said, "Because my English isn't good enough." Her friend looked confused. "You speak English every day." "I know," Emmy replied. "But every time I talk to her, I'm afraid I'll say something wrong." She laughed nervously. "She's probably wondering why I'm so awkward all the time." The other smiled. But then Emmy said something that absolutely broke my heart. "I miss having someone who feels familiar." Nobody spoke for several seconds. Then she continued, "When you move across the world, sometimes you forget what home feels like." I had to look away for a moment, because suddenly the coffee machine wasn't nearly as interesting. As pretending not to cry, one coworker asked, "So what do you do?" Emmy smiled. "I save her a seat." "What?" In meetings everyone looked confused. She laughed. "If I get there first, I save the chair next to me." Another coworker started laughing. "That's why she's always sitting beside you." She nodded. "And when we order lunch for the office, I always include the things she likes." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. For nearly a year, she'd been quietly looking out for me, and I had never noticed. And came the part that nearly destroyed me. One friend asked, "Do you think she'll ever know?" Emmy shook her head. "No." Then she smiled sadly. "But that's okay." "Why?" "Because for a few minutes, every day feels like I get to talk to my sister again." At that point I couldn't stay quiet anymore. I turned around, walked over to their table, and in perfect Japanese said, "You should have told me." The silence was immediate. All three of them froze. Amy's eyes went so wide I thought she might pass out. For a second nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Then she covered her face with both hands. "Oh no." One coworker started laughing so hard he nearly fell out of his chair. The other looked like she just witnessed a magic trick. Meanwhile Amy looked absolutely horrified. I sat down across from her and smiled. Then I said something my mother used to tell me growing up in Japanese. A phrase about family never being limited by distance. This second I finished, tears filled her eyes. She wasn't embarrassed, she wasn't upset. She was relieved. That was 3 years ago today. Amy is one of my closest friends. She came to my wedding. My mother adores her. And every year on her sister's birthday, she sends me a photo of the two of them together. Because of all the things I expected to overhear that day, I never expected to discover that someone had been treating me like family all along.